Nintendo 64 collection video here today, so back with another collection vid. Going with some of the older stuff now, see how it views and stuff, and if this one does well, I'll probably push on to NES or Super NES, Super Famicom, Genesis. Some of the handhelds, I got a bunch of Game Boy stuff, Game Boy Advance, stuff like that. I have not done one of these in a bit. I think I have the same exact games I had the one I did last year. But, Nintendo 64 is a great system. It really is. I have a lot of fond memories with it. I'll talk about it. I've talked about it in the past as well. So you'll probably hear some of the same things I've said if you watch those other ones. But the first game I got here is Star Wars Rogue Squadron. So the first... The first Rogue Squadron. It's a pretty cool game. I never completed it. I had rented this one back in the day. I never owned it until a couple of years ago when I got it from a video game trading post in Bayshore Mall. You play through Star Wars, missions, and you're using a bunch of the vehicles from the original trilogy. Pretty cool for the time, though, I will say. Still, it looks alright graphically. Some Nintendo 64 stuff holds up, some does not. Kind of like the PlayStation as well, the original PlayStation. Some of it holds up, but some of it isn't that weird. It's kind of that weird, start of the 3D kind of graphics, at least on the consoles. And people, the developers are getting used to stuff, and you have to work with the limitations of your systems, but this game's pretty cool. Mission Impossible. I do have the manual for this one. I had gotten it at another garage sale where I'll mention something else, but this is another one I rented back in the day and didn't own until last year I got this. It's based off the first movie with Tom Cruise, which is a fantastic movie, by the way. It's my favorite still out of the ones I've seen, Mission Impossibles. I just love the fact that it's just like more of a thriller, spy thriller. It's more of a traditional kind of spy, secret agent shit mission, movie type. And some of the other ones have those elements as well, but a lot of them became more action, very action oriented. Big set pieces and stuff. Yeah, it's like the movie. It controls are a little, It's still pretty cool though. I never completed this back when I rented it. I got up to the part where it was annoying as shit. When you have to rappel down and Jean Reno's character is holding you, and you gotta not touch the floor and stuff. You gotta get the stuff from the computer, data or whatever. I haven't played it since I've actually gotten this one. I might have actually popped it in to test it, but Wetrics. This is a really cool puzzle game. I've talked about this. This is another one I rented back in the day. These three. Well, two of these I did not own, I don't think, back in the day. But this one I did. I definitely rented as well. I never owned this one back then. This is a cool puzzle game. I believe this also came out on the Dreamcast. There's like a big kind of board type thing, kind of floating there. And you have to build up. You get certain blocks, different shaped blocks like Tetris, but you have to seal in this floating piece of land. And then water's coming down. It's dropping, and then more of it comes down like these little, 10 of these, big bunch of waters. And you don't want your water going off the side, because you have a water meter, and you get points by building little lakes and stuff like that. Because you can then, once you've kind of got the outside blocked off, then you get more pieces coming down. So you gotta separate more water you have in. It's good. Sometimes little bombs will come down, and they will destroy your stuff, and the water will drip out, so you gotta plug those holes and stuff. It's a really cool puzzle game. It's different. I actually really like this. WWF No Mercy. I talked about this. This is what I got at the garage sale when I had gotten. If you'd seen that video, I got this. I got the Ogre Battle 64 and Paper Mario, boxes and manuals, and I also got a Scooby-Doo manual, Mission Impossible, Donkey Kong, and Harvest Moon, which I had sold the Harvest Moon manual, all for $10. Now, I always knew this game was honestly a $30 game. I'm like, that's great. It's got an autograph on there, which I talked about. I think it might be Jericho's, but I don't know if anybody is into wrestling and recognizes that autograph. Let me know. But you see here, it's hard to tell because it's not focused well enough, and I have manual focus on. Let me see if I can. Nope. I don't know. Nope. Yeah, you see how it has USA 1 here. Now, that, I didn't realize this because I'm like, I'm going to sell this. I was more into the WCW, NWO, Revenge, and World Tour games. But this one's supposed to be incredible. And I did play some of it, but it plays like those games. I think they're all made by whether THQ, Ukes, or whoever made it. But I'm like, why are there ones that are selling for like $300? I'm like, what the fuck? So I looked it up. And I guess there was a problem with this where like your saves or something get ruined, and people would send it back to THQ. And then when they sent it back to you, they would send it back USA 1. The originals just had USA, not the 1. So this is the rarer thing now. So it has more value, but it has as much value as someone's willing to pay for it. These don't sell often. Like I said, though, I didn't play much of it, but it plays like the other ones. Turok Dinosaur Hunter. Cool game. I have a lot of... They're fond memories in that. They're also... It was during a tough time. I was starting to really first get my panic attacks, because I got... Nintendo 64 I got in 96. The end of 96. I think it was like November. And, I got this, I think, in February. This is out of February. I got this in February. It's funny because I didn't have a controller pack at the time. Some of these games, you needed a controller pack to save. You put it into the controller, you can save through there. This was one of them. Like Mario 64, you didn't need it. It was on the card. Some were not. This being one of them. And I remember first playing it, not being able to save, and finally I got the pack. But I was getting panic attacks and stuff during the time when I had this. Or it was like right after I had gotten this. Maybe a couple weeks after. So it did not really feel great for at least like 3 or 4 months. It was rough. And, playing this made me feel better at times. It's a cool shooter. It's definitely fun. Big open areas to kind of explore, and sometimes it can get a little annoying because you're like, what the fuck do I have to do? I specifically remember like there's like a catacombs area you go into at one point. But it's a cool game, and I have those kind of fond memories of a tough time, but this being one of the games that kind of helped me, keep your mind off things. 007, The World Is Not Enough. This is not one I owned back then. No. I don't even think I rented this. It's based on The World Is Not Enough, Pierce Brosnan. I don't think I did a gameplay of this. Maybe. I don't think I did. I did play some of this, though. It's pretty fun. It follows the movie, such as GoldenEye follows GoldenEye. But it's pretty cool. And this one apparently is a lot better than the PS1 counterpart. First-person shooter on the Nintendo 64. This is not made by Rare. This one was made by EA. I want to say they did I don't know who developed. They published. I don't know who developed the PlayStation 1. I don't know who developed this one either. I had different developers, same publisher, I guess. For a play, it was fun. It's Bond. You're getting gadgets and stuff. Well, this one starts at the beginning where MI6 gets attacked in the movie, if you remember. So that's how it starts off. So it starts off fast-paced and stuff. I do want to play more of this, actually. That's on the blue card. Nintendo 64 had a lot of, and yet this one, the No Mercy, was the black card. The game I'm going to show next had a black card, but I have the gray card. They had gold cards for Zelda, yellow card for Donkey Kong. They had red cards. I think Turok and Doom might have had a red. Turok 2 might have had a red card, or maybe not. Doom definitely, I think, had a red cartridge. You saw blue. There was green cards too, I believe. Army Men games might have had a green card. A different color cartridges. I know it's kind of cool. Oh, I got the blue one. This one, ScoobyDoo Classic Creep Capers. My original copy had it was black, or this is the gray. I talked about this game. I don't know if I ever did gameplay of this one. I don't think I did. I did a gameplay of a couple of Scoob games, but I don't think I did this one. Actually, probably did gameplays of the Super Nintendo Scoob. I think I did Night of 100 Frights, maybe. And I definitely did, I think, Unmasked or Mystery Man, one of those two. And I did one on the Game Boy Advance as well. This is an awesome game. It's pretty much point-and-click game. You're doing more stuff. But it's in the vein of point-and-click games. You gotta find certain objects to use them. When the villains come at you, they get scared. It's Shag and Scoob. And you gotta hide and stuff from them. And you're trying to solve puzzles, and you go to the kitchen, you're eating massive sandwiches and stuff like that too. It's really cool. It's short, unfortunately. I think there's 3 main, kind of episodes. They follow like the show. And then there's a 4th one where you have to find the rest of the Daphne, Fred, and Velma have all been like kidnapped or whatever, and you gotta save them. So it's a kind of a different, shorter one. Oh, they have the first one's with the Black Knight in the museum. The other one's with Tiki Guy in Hawaii or wherever, the island. And, the other one might be up in the Snow Mountains, I forget. But it's a really cool game. Like, if you're into Scooby-Doo, you're gonna like this. It's just cool. In my opinion, even though Night of 100 Frights, some of the other platform ones are good. Much like the Genesis, and the Genesis one is more of a traditional point-and-click game. We have all the options, pull, push, grab, stuff like that. But it's another point. That's how the Scoob game should be, I think. More mysteries. I think they had a bunch on the PC that were kind of similar to that. But yeah, classic game. Castlevania. A lot of people shit on this game, honestly. I liked it. The other one, they made the second one. I think he turned to a wolf in it. What is it called? I forget what it's called. I had rented that one. I wish I would have owned it because it's worth quite a bit. Like $100 or something. This one's like $20, $25. I liked it. You use, there's a girl and dude you use in this one. I forget their names. They start off outside the castle, and then you get in there and you're doing Castlevania type stuff. I'm pretty sure the end boss is some kind of like dragon type thing. You're like in a desert type thing. I remember. It's weird. Like a bone dragon almost or some shit. I could be completely wrong. But you're going around the castle doing stuff. I always liked this game, even when it came out. I mean, it wasn't like some people trash it, some didn't, but I always liked this one. Admittedly, when I went through and played some of it again when I got this, it doesn't hold up as much control-wise, but a lot of the Nintendo 64 games don't. Just because they're a little more clunkier in the control department and stuff, but honestly, this was still, especially when I first played it, was extremely enjoyable. And last, the gem of the collection. Indiana Jones, the Infernal Machine. I've talked about this a ton. It's a top 5 game for me. A lot of fond memories of this. As you see on the back, Blockbuster Video, property of Blockbuster Video. I got my copy of Blockbuster. My friend and I had rented it a couple of times and completed it. We would swap back and forth, and another friend was in the background giving tips from time to time, most of which didn't make sense. A few worked. My friend had bought it too, but I think he sold it, then I bought it. With the box, it didn't have the manual. I sold the box maybe like 7-8 years ago. Because I only care about the game. It's awesome. It only released in Blockbuster. My friend actually had a pre-order at GameStop, and they just canceled it. And they only gave him his money back, whatever, put down. But I don't know if there was too many. There are glitches in this game. I don't know if it was fully polished, we'll say. But it's super fun. The guy they got to do the voice of Indy is pretty good at it. He doesn't talk a ton, but he talks decent. He's pretty spot on to Harrison Ford. But there's alien stuff in this. This is way before Crystal Skull came out. It's a cool game though. Different locations you're finding stuff. You gotta find things for puzzles. You're finding little treasures you can collect and stuff. You have your whip to use. You get a machete. You get guns and stuff. It's super fun. It starts off, I believe you're in Arizona. Then you're going all over the place. You're in a volcano at one point. You're going underwater into like boats and stuff. It's just a cool adventure game. There are glitches though. Like I said, there's a part where you're on a raft and you gotta go to different areas to get stuff. And if you get stuck, you get little additional things. If your raft pops, you can replace it. But you'll get stuck on a little rock in the middle, and you cannot get off it. And you just hear this. My friend and I always hear, and then you fix it, and there's nothing you can do. You're stuck. You pretty much have to die. You'll get stuck in the environment, and stuff like that. There are glitches in it, quite a few. Nothing game breaking because we were able to complete it, and I had completed it a second time myself. But it does have a lot of glitches, which I guess is why the reason they kind of just, even though it was made already, maybe they didn't feel confident enough to put this out everywhere. Back then, what were we gonna do? There's no patches or anything. I wouldn't even have known about it until after his thing got canceled. Like, they could have literally, I don't know, it's weird. I don't know. I feel like I played glitchier games during that era, but it wasn't broken. Maybe there were copies that were, and we never got that unlucky. But I love this game. My friend and I played it myself. Just a lot of good memories of going and playing the shit out of this fucking game, man. This is before we were looking at strategy guides too or anything. They had strategy guides back then, but so you be stuck on something for like 2 hours. You're trying to figure out what you need to do. But Indiana Jones Infernal Machine, awesome game. Pick it up if you're into Nintendo 64 and adventure games, Indiana Jones, because it's awesome. It's a little pricey. I don't know what it's up to now. You might be able to get a loose copy for like $80-$90, but I could be wrong. It could be more. I should look it up, but I don't want to. Like I've said before, I do want to pick up more. I always forget about it because these games I have in the cabinet, not on the shelf. So I almost forget I have Nintendo 64 sometimes. So there are about 10 other games I probably wouldn't mind getting, depending on the price. But anyway, that's my Nintendo 64 game collection, and thanks for checking this out.